Hey everybody, we're back for another Acceptable Casualties battle report. Today we're going to be giving Test of Honor a go. It's going to be just a test game to see how we're going to shoot this thing, so we figure we just let it roll and then you guys can get something to watch. So we'll be back in a second to kind of go over the lists and then we'll just get into the game. So down here we have our first army. Right now this is going to be the guys I'm going to be playing. One of the two armies are painted, as you guys can obviously see. The second army is still black. I haven't gotten a chance to get to them just yet. But the list for these guys is we have our samurai hero right down here. We have a unit of experienced spearmen. And just above them, I went with 2 muskets instead of 2 bows. For Vin's army, he has his samurai hero right there, a unit of spearmen, and then Vin has 2 individual bowmen right there. So this we're looking at for the armies. We'll be back in a second to kind of go over our deployment and the mission for the game. So we'll be back in a flash. Alright, so we are back for deployment. I'll go over my side first, then we'll go over to Vin's. So down here I have my first musket, my second musketman right here. Up there I have my experienced spearman. And then next to him I have my samurai hero. Over on Vin's side, he has his 1 samurai hero right behind that wall there. Then he has his 2 bowmen and his spearmen right behind him right there. So I think how we're going to end up shooting this. Obviously we don't do dice rolls just because it takes too long to film it and put it all together. So what we're going to do is we're going to do end of turn recaps and we'll kind of just explain everything that happened throughout the turn when we come back at the end of turn 1. So we'll be back in a flash. Okay, so we are back for the bottom of turn 1. And this turn is mostly just positioning. The way that the tokens fell, Vin was kind of able to get rolling first. On my end, I ended up just pushing up both of my muskets. What is it, like 6 inches? I wasn't able to get anybody in firing range on Vin. Vin was able to get his archers into range. He was able to do 1 wound on my spearmen before they moved up over here, but he failed the wound test, so I just got the one blood droplet. Vim also was able to get 2 actions off with his samurai. He's pushing him around the back of this house because I think he's scared to come into the middle and fight this dishonorable little woman. So we have...
I'm circling around.
Yeah, my samurai, I was only able to get 1 token out before all 3 fate tokens came out. So I was only able to get him moved up once to the middle of the courtyard over here, and then Vin moved his spearman group over there. So I think I said when we finished up, I think all of our commoners went, and then there was... Vin had 1 samurai token left, and I had 2 samurai tokens left for mine, but everybody else got pulled on this turn. So we'll be back in a second for the end of turn 2. See you guys in a flash. So we are back for the end of turn 2. In this turn, all the tokens got pulled except for 1 of Vin's samurai tokens. What ended up happening this turn was Vin's archer right there was able to actually pluck another... well, he didn't get a wound. You failed to wound me, so I just got an extra blood drop with these guys down here. Vin, with his 2 moves that he got from his samurai, pushed around the back of the building there. And then this samurai failed. I mean, this archer here failed to do any successes on this guy to hit. And then Vin's spearman also failed to hit there. My samurai, I was able to get 2 rounds of combat off against Vin's spearman. The first one I completely whiffed on. The second one I got 6 successes, and then Vin ended up dodging the attack. Yeah, so yeah, great. So it was awesome. Down here for my other muskets, I fired. I ended up hitting Vin's archer right there, but I failed to kill him with the firepower test or whatever it's called. So he ends up taking 1 blood drop off of him. And then down here with this musket, I fired a shot into Vin's samurai, but I failed to do a wound off of him. So I'll be back in a second for turn 3. Hopefully my samurai can start doing a little bit of damage up there and clear up Vin's back line. So we'll be back in a second.
So you're about to be...
So we are back here for the end of turn 3. We finally had our first casualty. In this turn, actually, my samurai will start up here. I was able to get another hit, but I failed to kill anybody. I rolled, I think, 2 swords on the wound, so that was pretty unfortunate. Down here, Vin fired another musket shot down into this group twice, right?
Yep.
And I don't think...
They didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything, yeah. My muskets also in return fire up to there. I ended up missing on all my shots as well. For Vin's samurai hero right down here, with his actions, he was able to move up and then swing into here. In his 1 round of combat, he was able to kill 1 of the samurai. And then I ended up pulling the 3rd fate token right after that. So Vin left 2 samurai actions in the bag, and I think I had 1 left in the bag for my samurai, but everybody else went. So that's what we're looking at here for the end of turn 3. We'll be back in a second for a recap of turn 4. So we are back here for the end of turn 4. This turn things got a little bit bloody over here. I ended up losing an extra samurai down here. Extra spearman to Vince Samurai, and then I ended up getting pushed back there. Up here, I was able to kill one of the guys up here and then get a wound in another one of the combats. And then by doing that, well, after the casualty, Vin had to kind of push his one archer here because he failed his test of honor. And then this other one had to move back and then pushed up, but failed his bow shot into them down here. I was able to get a token off for this musket man here. I fired down there, but I ended up missing. And then over the course of the turn, the fate tokens got pulled. I think everybody got to go except for this this musket man right here. So the way things look right now, I'm probably going to lose this space pretty soon. But we'll see how it goes. So we'll be back in a second for, I think it's the end of turn 5 right now. I got to carve up that side of the table pretty quick because I got to get down here and fight Vince Samurai. So we'll be back in a flash. So here we have the end of turn, is it 5 or 6? I don't know, it doesn't really matter. So down here, I guess I'll start with my side first. With this musket, I ended up firing up there with my fate token and I ended up missing. Down over here, after Vin moved up one of his archers along the side there to fire a bow down here, he was able to do a wound and give me an extra blood drop. I think you can just keep compiling past what the one token is. So he's up to 3 because Vin's Samurai here also failed to kill him, so he just keeps accumulating blood drops. But back to the musket down here, Vin actually moved his archer up to over there before. I got a clean shot with the musket and I ended up killing him at long distance, which was pretty nice. My samurai up here, he's absolutely horrible. I had 2 samurai tokens that I pulled and I got a hit on one, failed to wound on the other, and then I failed to hit on both. Yeah, I failed to hit you on the first one, and the second one, Vin ended up making a save to evade. So yeah, my samurai's been absolutely worthless right now. So that's what we're looking at right now for the end of turn 5. We'll be back in a second. Hopefully our samurais can finish chopping these spearmen up, and then we can get back into the mix and fight each other here in the middle of this little courtyard. So we'll be back in a second, see how things play out. So as you can see, we are back for the end of turn recap, and things kind of get cleared out a little bit over here. So up over here, Vin's Spearman actually got the first token pulled, and they ended up hitting me. I ended up failing my dodge. Vin failed to get the wound off, and then he struck to get the wound off, and then he ended up, I thought he killed me, but then we read through the rules, and actually Samurai get to do a test of honor after they take the wound. So I ended up passing my test of honor, just taking the blood drop, and then I have a leg injury right now, so I lost 1 agility. As you see, the spearmen are gone. I ended up killing one of the guys, and then I had a musket man that was down here previously. He fired a shot up, and I was able to kill the rest of the guys from that base right there. Vin's Samurai here finished off my spearman unit there. Then he moved back with one of his attacks. He killed one of my musketmen, and then his last action, he ended up moving up over here. And then down here, I had my other musketman right here. He fired up, and he was able to get a blood drop over here on this archer. So we are looking at just the 2 samurai heroes. Mine's wounded, and then down here we have a musketman and a bowman. So we'll be back in a second for the next turn. I think we're up to what, like 7 or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 6 or 7. So we'll be back in a flash. We are back for the end of game right now. This was just terrible. So we ended up getting into a duel. I ended up hitting Vin. No, I didn't hit you. Oh, I did hit you first, right? Yeah, I hit you first, but Vin was able to dodge, so he was able to come back with his next samurai action, and he had the issue challenge card, so he waited to use it. He ended up getting his extra die. Of course, I ended up failing my agility test, and then I ended up failing my test of honor after Vin did the wound, and he cut him down. So we'll be back in a second to go over the end of the game recap. We'll talk about the worst samurai in the world, and then how the rest of the game played out. So we'll be back in a flash. All right, we're back for the ending game recap for this one. I'm not really going to go over strategy. I think we're just going to do a little bit different, just talk about the game in general, like how it kind of played out. This was actually a lot of fun, a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. After going through the rule book, I thought it was going to be like a pretty good skirmish game, but like I said, there's some pretty fun stuff here. As far as rolling the dice and getting the skill cards, I think we did most of it right. I will say it seems like your samurai, he could do a ton of damage. Unfortunately, my samurai was absolutely horrible. The dice that I had were just terrible. I was getting hung up on those spearmen. I couldn't hit or dodge anything. Like they was just absolutely terrible. Vince Samurai though actually played out pretty good. He was able to cut down a bunch of guys and kind of just move his way through the battlefield and do a lot of damage. The game overall feels like a lot of fun, and like I said, this is just like our test run to see.
Very smooth.
Yeah, it played smooth, really simple, and it was a lot of fun, really fluid. I can see once the game's getting a little bit bigger and we start adding more pieces in, maybe get another army box set next couple weeks, kind of add to that. The game will get even like a little bit more depth to it. It seems like it could be like a lot of fun once you get some more stuff on the table. And I think right now, once we go through the like the little campaign in the rule book, we're just gonna stick to using the terrain on here. And once I wrap that up, once we wrap up the 6 episodes to kind of get that all done, then I think we'll probably make the investment and maybe get some stuff from either Sarissa or Foreground. Just get like a little bit of terrain on the table. I already have like trees and hills and all that, but I figured just for doing this, it would be better just using stuff straight from the box set. And then after we get through the whole campaign, then we'll start branching off into some other stuff. But yeah, like I said, I had a blast. It was actually a ton of fun. I don't know, Vin, how did you feel after you got to roll some dice with this?
It's absolutely hilarious. Like, I think that's the thing I like the most about it. It's really just funny. Like in the beginning, it's very strategy heavy.
Oh, your positioning, yeah.
All positioning, but like once everything starts clashing and people start like dying and like tokens start getting taken out of the little pull box that you have, it just becomes such a shit show.
Yeah, I think like the first 2 turns, it was literally just we're just drawing actions and kind of just picking the guys that we wanted to use and get them moving, but. I think there's a lot of strategy to be had, especially with your ranged guys. Like you use your archers maybe to take a shot at like spearmen, and then force them to make that agility test, and then they end up losing their action token. So you almost take them out of the turn if you're able to hit them earlier. Like I said, if you use just your bow just to hit a samurai, just to pluck off one of his action tokens. Like there's more to just doing wounds. It seems like if you really plan your shots out with the ranged units, you can pluck some of those action tokens off of some of the melee units and kind of just leave them sitting there, and that kind of opens up the tactics and the flow for maybe some of your other offensive units that you have in your list. So yeah, I think this game, there's a lot of cool options to it, and I think this is only like our first game, so strategy wise there wasn't like a ton to it, and I know like a bunch of you guys that are probably going to end up watching this, you've already played a couple of games and have some stuff under your belt. So if you guys got any tactical tips or any ideas about how we played, maybe make the game a little bit smoother, or how we're going to shoot it, if you guys got any ideas for that, or maybe some stuff you want to see, just let us know. Like I said, we usually don't do dice rolls on the channel for you guys who haven't seen this stuff before, just because we like to kind of just play the game when we're actually playing the game and not worry about filming it while we're just rolling the dice and having a good time, and then we just kind of focus on the recap. So yeah, dice rolls probably we're not going to put on there, but if you guys got any ideas of like stuff that you maybe want to see as far as Test of Honor goes, let us know. But thanks for watching. Leave some comments, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll catch you guys later.